The moment you're within a few dozen meters of home, or even 100, they already know, and they're already waiting. A single wag of the tail, like seeing a long-lost loved one. A little leap in the air, unable to contain the joy, simply because you've returned. Even if you say nothing, even if you're tired or sad or just had the worst day, pets don't need you to be successful. They don't care if you're smiling or falling apart. They just need to know it's you, the one they've been waiting for all day. In a world where even family sometimes doesn't let us finish a sentence, these silent looks, these hurried footsteps toward the door, might be the most sincere form of love that still exists. And perhaps that's why we love them as family. The world is connected, but are we? The world has never been more connected than it is today. With just a few taps, you can video call someone halfway across the globe. With a single status update, hundreds might like or laugh. But here's the paradox. We've never felt more alone. Real conversations, face-to-face, without being interrupted by notifications, without being reduced to emojis, are becoming rare. Old friends are busy now. Family always says, maybe later. Life is drowned in meetings, deadlines, to-do lists, and an invisible weight of worry. No one seems to have time anymore to listen to a long story. And that's when pets quietly become the loyal listeners. They don't nod and pretend understanding. They don't offer cliches as advice. They just lie there, beside you, gazing at you with eyes that never judge. In that moment, though not a word is spoken, they make you feel you're not entirely alone. A cat might curl into your lap when you sigh. A dog might rest its head on your knee when there's no one left to call at midnight. Because pets don't need language. They feel emotion. Maybe that's why we call them family. Not because of roles, but because in a world running out of real connection, they are the few who still anchor our hearts. They don't speak your words, but perhaps they hear you better than anyone else. Who's truly being saved? We call them pets, as if we're the caregivers, as if they are small beings in need of protection. But look closely. Who's really doing the saving? When you fall into darkness, when no one calls, no one asks, no one listens, the presence of a creature who can't speak suddenly becomes the one thing that holds you to the world. They don't urge you to cheer up. They don't reason with you or tell you it'll all be okay. They simply come close, quietly, and lie beside you, silent, yet somehow comforting. A gentle nudge of the head against your hand. A steady gaze that seems to say everything without saying anything. They love you, not because you're impressive, not because you're beautiful, not because you've accomplished anything. They love you simply because you're you. Even when you shut the door and push the world away, they wait outside, one paw gently scratching at the threshold, patient, unwavering. People often love conditionally. You must be charming. You must be useful. You must be strong. But with them, you can be tired. You can be messy. You can fall apart completely, and they'll still love you. Just like the very first day. Their loyalty isn't taught. It's felt. It's instinctive. It's pure. And perhaps when we sit beside a creature who doesn't speak, yet feels everything, we begin to understand what we really need isn't advice, but someone who won't leave when we are at our very worst. Maybe they're the ones saving us, not the other way around. The souls that never betray. One day you might forget the moment you first met them. You won't recall why you chose that cat or why that dog chose you. You'll just know they've been there, somehow, and stayed quietly always. No contract, no promises. Just a presence, constant, like breathing, like daylight. Some say pets don't remember much, but then how do they run to you, tail wagging wildly, after months apart, as if no time has passed at all? Maybe they don't remember with their minds. Maybe they remember with their hearts. A rainy afternoon, when you held them tight after a breakup. A sleepless night, when they sat by your side until morning. Moments you thought were fleeting, but for them became sacred threads in an unbreakable bond. And you too. You'll remember the way they looked at you when they were sick, the sound of their paws tapping across the floor, the way they tilted their head when you made a joke, as if they were laughing with you. Because in a world where everything can be replaced, phones replacing touch, social media replacing conversation, the bond with a pet is the one thing that can't be programmed, can't be replicated, can't be mass-produced. It's a kind of loyalty from another time, something that existed in humans before we became too busy, too cautious, too quick to give up on one another. You might forget to keep promises, forget their vaccinations, forget to feed them on time, but they don't hold it against you. They still greet you with joy, as if all mistakes are forgiven the moment you walk through the door. In this modern life, the scariest thing isn't heartbreak, it's having no one left to trust, no one who stays. And in those moments, a gently wagging tail, a gaze that never leaves you, becomes a quiet reminder, even if the whole world turns away, I'm still here. When family needs no words, the world gets louder every day, and lonelier too. We talk more, yet understand each other less. We can connect with hundreds of people in seconds, but struggle to find even one who's willing to sit beside us in complete silence. And then, somehow in the middle of all that noise, a creature that doesn't speak walks quietly into our life and stays. They make no promises, ask for nothing, and yet they're there every day, offering all the things we humans seem to have forgotten: presence, patience, unconditional forgiveness, a love that expects nothing in return. How many times has your heart softened just because they licked your hand? How many times did you keep going simply because someone with fur was quietly watching you? We call them pets, babies, fur children, but deep down, we know they are family, not because of blood, not because of names, but because they choose to stay even when you have nothing left to give. In a world that's always rushing, always replacing, always doubting, they remind us that love doesn't have to be complicated. You just have to show up and not walk away. Maybe what we need is not someone who always knows what to say, but someone who never leaves when the world gets too loud, too fake, too lost. Have you ever wondered if one day we no longer have pets? Will there be anything left in life that warms the heart so deeply without saying a word? Perhaps in this industrialized world where emotions are measured and monetized, these quiet, speechless beings, are the ones who remind us we are still human because we still feel something when a silent gaze meets ours and stays.